Overalls. The Outlook, May 5th, 1920. Newspaper columns are full these days of stories concerning the latest panacea for the high cost of living, overalls. In fact, we have a very grave suspicion that newspaper columns are much fuller of this panacea than the minds of the people. The photographs, for instance, of people in overalls which have decorated the news columns are so suggestive of unmussed perfection that they do not carry with them the conviction that they should. 2 of these photographs, by the way, are reproduced in this issue of The Outlook, and we leave our readers to judge whether they were staged for the occasion or not. Even if the overall propaganda is something more than a good newspaper yarn, we suspect that its effect upon the high cost of living will be something less than noticeable. As a measure of individual thrift, to eke out a stock of old clothes until the price of garments begins to descend, the overall may serve a useful purpose. Beyond that, the overall campaign signifies nothing but a futile protest against present conditions. And a protest which does not lead to effective action is bad psychology and bad business. What is really needed is indicated by a story which a manufacturer of a product essential to the building of homes recently told to an editor of The Outlook. He said, "There is a certain raw material which we need badly. If we do not secure a supply within the next 2 weeks, we will have to shut down part of our plant. This raw material is brought to us by boat from the south. We have a large supply ordered and on its way from a southern port. In fact, the shipment has been on its way for some time, for the steamer which is carrying it has made 4 trips to New York without being able to unload this vital supply for our business. It cannot unload here because of the tie-up of strike conditions on the wharves. It does not unload at the other end of the journey, for there is always an optimistic feeling that next trip conditions will be better. The cost of taking that raw material on a yachting trip will be paid for by someone. We doubt whether the steamship company will pay for it. We are sure that the manufacturing company will, quite properly, pass the cost of the delay along to the customers if it can. The man who buys the finished product to use in the repair or building of houses will not be slow about passing the additional cost along to his tenants. In the end, the cost of this adventure in transportation will percolate down to the very freight handlers or the very employers who made the original useless expenditure necessary. The cost of living will come down only when the cost of production leads the decline. We fail to see how the overall campaign can do much to get the procession started.